Now, I was still, but that smile was so gorgeous. I was like, you didn't catch her smile. Put that recorder on now. That's what my brain was saying in my head.
Yeah.
So, uh, let's get you completely disconnected. I want your energy completely removed from the old job, and I want their energy completely removed from you.
Wait, you froze on me. Can you say
And
that
you
again?
froze on me. I want their energy completely removed from you, from the old job, and your
Yep.
energy completely removed from them. A complete disconnection so that when you go forward, and then we need to take all this stress that you've had for months and we need to remove it from you like water, like standing in a waterfall. It just washes off and it's gone.
Yeah.
And my darling, this is what I can do for you. Please let me gift this to you.
Yeah, thank you. That's really, really kind of you. I'm looking forward to it. Like I think that one of the lessons has definitely been the value of closure, like all the way closed. And so I'm really excited to steel door, send it into space. So
So, can I offer some feedback?
yeah.
The lesson may be because you are HR, something about handling sticky situations as well.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of lessons. It's been a long time that I've worked for this. The big lesson was because when I committed to having that conversation from the place of my highest good and coming at it with an open heart and going all the way and remaining calm, not feeling bitter, not feeling like I could genuinely feel grateful for the whole entire experience instead of coming from a place of bitterness. After that, I could feel it close for me. I could feel it close. And I knew that I was going to get an invitation for something new really soon because I had spent that time and energy to really close it in that way. And it was literally the next day. It was the next day. So that's the part of the closure that I noticed was like, oh, okay, because I came with it that in that direction, that's why there was that empty space that the universe wanted to plop something new into. So yeah, I think there's lots of lessons though, for sure.
So, I agreed. And you're taking a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
So you need to come see me at the beginning of that couple weeks.
Okay. At
Spend
the
2 weeks released. Don't spend 2 weeks with it and then get released.
Good call. Good call. Okay, so that's this week. That's this week.
Okay. And get in here. Oh my God, we keep freezing on each other.
It's freezing
And
again.
it's freezing and freezing and freezing.
You want to stop it and then go on to rejoin the chat or whatever? Rejoin the meeting?
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. But why don't we just, since we're freezing anyway, we're maybe not going to use this anyway.
Yeah.
Also, my computer is saying my internet connection is unstable, and I have
Mm,
no idea how to fix that. Like none, none, none,
Are
none.
you on a laptop or a desktop?
I'm on a laptop.
So I would move closer to your internet source. Like, are you far away from your router?
It's through this wall. It's through two walls and upstairs. Is that
Yeah.
clear? Okay. Shit. All right.
I mean, you can always move the laptop just to test it and then see how that works.
Okay. Well, as usual, it looks like a bit of our time will be. Um,
Setup.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're totally
I'm
fine.
just not techno savvy enough. And I am working on it. I learn each time, but shit, there's a lot to learn.
There's always like another layer once you
Yeah.
get one of them down.
And the
So,
first 30 years of my life, this didn't exist.
right. Yeah, right.
So I didn't roll with it and learn. Instead I was a hick in the freaking mountains, not
Right.
learning anything, living super rural and being a hillbilly basically. And now I'm like, oh God, the learning curve. Crap. And I can do it. I can do it. I just got to get
Yeah.
rid of the mental blocks, right?
Right. Right.
Okay,
Totally.
so now the lighting is really good in this room. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do if I move, but it's going to take me a minute, but I will get it. Okay, so what do we do then?
I mean, I think it's going to be worth finding a spot that has good internet.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to take the whole shebang upstairs and I have to put a screen up because of my shitty little corner that I haven't cleaned up yet. Although I hired a new woman and we cleaned out over half the garage, got it all listed on Facebook. I have like over 200 things listed now
That's
between
awesome.
Facebook and eBay. And we got it listed and it's getting sold. And this woman, she's in my age bracket. She's 59, I'm 55, and she's in my age bracket. And basically, she's like, girl, it's got to go.
Yeah.
I said, I know. She said,
Mhm.
you're pricing things too high and you're not getting through stuff and listing it enough. She said, let me list it for you. She's listing stuff for $5. You know what? It's going. Flip, 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 flip. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it. And she's got an organized mind, and linear is not my strong suit.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you don't you don't sit in conference with divinity
Right.
and
Right.
angels and other entities all day and then come out of it and be very linear. It just those two don't. You get one
Right.
or the other. You don't get both, and you don't toggle back and forth as you get older.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there's no agenda usually sent out as a memo for those
Well,
interactions.
it's actually a different timing.
Mm,
It isn't that I can't keep a schedule or I can't think linearly. It is a different schedule, a different timing. So universal time is very different from Earth time,
hmm.
like really different.
We should get into that. I mean, how is it different?
Um, they measure time differently. For example, according to the universe, this Earth is, people have been on this Earth not as long as they think.
Okay.
And this current life cycle that we are in, I don't know what they call it. Like there's Mesozoic and Paleoic and or whatever. This one is not, eh, aren't they, don't they say the humans have been here for 1 million years or something, or 100,000 years, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Whatever it
many.
is, it's a
Good.
fraction of that,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Because time is measured differently according to universe standards. And we do carbon dating and we think everything according to the I really am not a scientist and I don't understand why. But what I can tell you is that carbon dating is off. And
Hmm.
I don't know if there's huge radio, I don't know what it measures other than some carbon, but
Right.
maybe there's a big radiation flow when the Earth goes through major changes. I don't know what it is, but if that's the case, carbon dating is, I mean, they're like, oh, this is 1.5 million years old. It is not.
Hmm. Hmm. So universal time isn't necessarily um another dimension of time, or is it?
See, that's the thing. We think that, or I don't know, when I was in school, they were teaching that time was the fourth dimension. I don't know if they teach that anymore, if they believe it. It's not true anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a fourth dimension is just that, another dimension that I can look into. And it is not, time is not linear, but it is, in my experience, not necessarily a dimension either. A dimension is sort of a place in time that you can look from different levels. It's a different
Mm,
level, right? But time is a circular loop. And it's a circular loop that you can then influence your past and your future at the same time,
mm,
right? So maybe you want to, oh, now look, I'm on my soapbox. So maybe you want to not make a mistake that you made in the past that ruined you.
mm,
You can actually yell back to yourself, Wendy, don't
mm.
say that thing in sixth grade that's going to ruin you socially. Don't do it
Right.
in that tiny school that you will be in for 3 more years. right?
Yeah.
And if you are determined and clear and still inside as you do it, you will get the message
Mm.
and it will change things.
So then how do you like what do you do in the present moment so that theoretically your future self who might be yelling back to you in the now, how do you make sure you're clear enough to be able to hear that?
So there's so that's a thing too. And the
Yeah.
thing is you sit and you're still maybe once a month, once a year, every day, whatever that is for you, and
Mm.
say, just look at your life and say, are there any messages I need to look at? I need to hear from myself and the great beyond, right? You can have both.
Mm.
And then you need to make sure that those messages are of your highest good, right? But if that now, not everybody can just get still and do that. That's just not something everybody can do. So this is what I tell my students. I want you to picture that time and circumstance and life is one giant river flowing by you. And you take one finger and just dip it in and see what you get.
Mm.
That's it. You just do that meditation.
Mm. Wow. Do you think this is something people can do too often? Like, can they be asking about their future and getting messages from their, do you think they can do that too often? Or do you think that like, once a week is enough?
So that depends on the element of the person. Let me explain. It's always so complicated, right? And
I love it.
I have friends who are like, everything's complicated with you, Wendy.
I
I'm like,
know, I know. I
well,
love
I didn't make the universe. I'm just,
it.
the chicks calling out the moves from the sidelines,
Right,
I'm just the
exactly.
announcer. What do you want?
Yeah, I love it though. I love the complications. I think it's fun.
Okay. So let me explain. In Chinese medicine and every single system of healing around the planet, first of all, every culture shares certain myths that are the same. And I promise you, those are stories that are true. But every culture also has its own healing system.
Hmm.
Now, each one is good for different things.
Okay.
Uh, for example, in India, they spend a lot of time with, I think they call it prana, which is the inner life force, which you can control with your breath. And they focus on that. Sometimes that's wonderful, right? Because you can, if you work on it, control yourself and your stuff. There are people who think, oh, I could never do that. Yes, you can.
Mm.
However, the thing is, um, they that particular system, just that one little area of their system, which is vast. The Vedas are a huge amount of documents that they have made into a huge system of healing. So I'm not going to pick apart the whole thing. I don't know enough to, but I can tell you from that perspective, it doesn't take into account earth and man luck. It takes in, it doesn't take into account your external universe.
Mm.
And the external universe is very important because in Chinese, the Chinese system, and I promise I'll get to the elements of people, but I got to explain this stuff first for
Yeah,
some
yeah,
reason.
please do.
In the Chinese system, the key is to know that you have three kinds of luck: heaven luck, earth luck, man luck. Okay. Heaven luck, earth luck, or man luck, earth luck. Okay. It goes like that. And that doesn't mean one is more important than the other, but that's the levels that the two flow in the ether. And so the breath is important, but it doesn't influence uh, heaven luck, and it doesn't influence earth luck.
Mm.
So you want to influence all three. All right. And that's a whole another conversation that we can get to if you want. But
Yeah.
bottom line is the messages come through according to the element of the human in
Mm.
the Chinese system. And I go with Chinese a little bit more than the others. Um, they just they have slightly more written history. They have slightly more written history, so they these are what 5 and 10,000 or more years of written history of healing between India and China. And I'm just saying, Nothing else has that long of a proven history. And so I try to listen because they've got the documentation, they've got the statistics, they've got the history on their side. Proven or
Yeah.
unproven, they could say, oh, this didn't work or that did work or whatever. Okay, so different people are different elements in the Chinese system. Now, India does a different way of categorizing people. And it's a good one, but it doesn't work for what I'm explaining. They're all applicable in different circumstance. Let's put it that way. So
Okay.
you have what's your favorite element? And let's start there.
My favorite element, probably water.
Okay. Water people. Water people have curly hair.
Mhm.
Water people have rounder bodies. They're
Mhm.
curvier.
Mhm.
They are social and they heal through dance. And they have longer spines than other people. And those people can dance.
Hmm.
And water people will get more messages than others because they're flowy, right? So they can tolerate a lot of flow in. They're always late. They're always late. Water people are always late. Guess who's a water person?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I am a water person. I have the round face. Well, it's actually heart shaped, but that's water. I've got the curly hair. I'm very social. I'm not as linear. That's water.
Mm.
Okay. So water gives birth to what's the next thing that it gives birth to? Wood. And wood people are very long. They have the long, angular faces. They have bushy eyebrows. They are very, usually very smart and composed. And you know that saying, you can never be too thin or too rich? That's a wood person statement.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
No.
Because they're very lanky people and they tolerate these messages within the structure of their lives. So less. So
Mm.
maybe let's just say you were sending them tons, they could tolerate 5 a year.
Mhm.
Water people will do it 5 times a day.
Right.
All right. They're like, well, I haven't had a nervous breakdown yet today. Let's do something. You know,
Right, right. Due for my afternoon breakdown. Let's get it together so I can break it down.
yeah. And I'm not saying water people are a mess. They're not.
Of course.
It's just a different flow. They come and they go. And of course, there's always yin and yang of the same element as well.
Right, right. So it's almost like water people have a higher range of being able to get
Right.
those messages. And because of that, you have more, just more that you're dealing with, more energy, more information, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, but they deal with it differently as well. Wood people are
Right.
very structural. They deal with the facts. They get it together. They can do it. They can be intuitive as well, but they are the kind of guys and gals who put it into a structured, scheduled system.
Right.
Okay. Water people float
Mhm.
here, there, everywhere. Yeah. Okay. All right. So then wood gives rise to fire. Fire people are the people who have faces that are like this. You've seen people with small foreheads and wide jaws. We have a lot of
Mhm.
famous people like that. Or they have a very narrow face and a very wide forehead.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about my face because my face looks like I have a narrow little jaw and everything. I'm much more round. Or as I lose weight, I'm looking more oval, but I actually have a heart-shaped face.
Mhm.
It's just I have this big forehead, so I have to comb all these bangs down so you won't see it because it's just not fashionable. All
Mhm.
right, so fire people look elegant. They look just lovely all the time. They are less so. You're just waiting for the next fire to go off.
Sure.
They
Yeah.
don't do planning. They don't do structure. They don't do schedule, and they're extremely intuitive.
Mhm.
Now, they do as long as they get to set it. But fire people don't, they just jump and jump and jump. So they're the quickest movers, the quickest thinkers, but they are the kind of people who they just don't they don't have an overview.
Okay.
They just keep jumping to the next opportunity.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they are worthy. They are worthy of great things. And they bring great things to the table. But I'm sure, I think that in your previous job, and because we're recording this, we won't name it, but I think that in your previous job, you had some fire people you were dealing with. They did not see the bigger picture. They did not plan, and they just thought that they could constantly maneuver.
Mm, yeah, I
Okay.
think
Now,
that,
water people don't plan much either, but water people are they flow better. Let's put it that way.
right. More receptive to it. Yeah.
Okay. So that gives rise to earth, because ashes then, right? Earth people have square faces and square bodies. And they are, when they're thin, and they aren't very often, they look like a stick. I'm always like, you need to put some weight on there. What is this? But I'm
Right.
water, and water's very voluptuous. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so square Earth folks can tolerate one message a year, and maybe they'll listen.
Wow.
Mhm. They love structure. They love schedule. It's like they're God, but they don't realize it because they're very, very busy being religious usually. If they need to heal, they sing. Singing makes them well. And they have beautiful voices. And everything about them is lovely. I, they're the nicest, sweetest people you ever met, and they hate being the center of attention. And I mean, they will literally, whatever you do, if you go to their house, they will offer you something sweet to eat. And their
Mm.
sweat is sweet smelling. It's disgusting. I'm so jealous. Why was I not on earth in this lifetime? I do not know. I sweat like a man. I mean, it's just weird. So,
Yeah.
and then that that gives rise to metal people.
Right.
Is you, my darling.
I'm a metal person.
Oh yeah. Now,
Okay.
so I am mostly water, but I have a lot of metal in me.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. And so let's talk about metal. You have some stress in your face right now, but normally you have this very oval face, don't you?
For things like that, like, oh,
Okay, you
you're
froze again. Start that over. You froze again.
okay. I don't think I can look at myself and see those things the way somebody else could. Like, I couldn't look at myself and be like, your face is this shaped. I'd be like disoriented.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you now that even with stress in your face, you are all that beautiful. However, when you don't have stress in your face, you have a very oval face.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mhm. And you're a very ambitious person.
Mhm.
Metal people know where the hell they're going, and you better get out of their way because they're going.
Yeah.
They naturally draw in money whenever they need it.
Mhm.
Mhm. And they are, we have a lot of metal people in Hollywood.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Metal people are the kind of people that they're a little morally flexible. No, you're not a psychopath. That is not what I mean. But they are, they just, they don't think they've got to give the pen back that they got at the bank. Okay. Earth people will make it a point to go back and give them the pen, even though their name is on it, so that you'll keep it.
Right.
Right. Metal people are like, whatever, it's all good. Moving on. Right. Water people don't even notice the pen.
Right.
Wood people think it's beneath them. And fire people are like, I'm just going to use that pen for a different tool
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
dismantle my laptop or something.
Yeah.
It's, anyways, very, very different. Okay.
Yeah.
So metal people, ambitious, they know what they want, they go after it. And they have these lovely bodies that are just in the middle, not too voluptuous, not too skinny, not too square, not too, just everything in the middle. Um, we froze again.
Yeah.
And we're going to end soon. So on this Zoom, because you can only get 40 minutes on free Zoom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
water people, I'm just going to say it again for the clips. Water people have a body that's not too much of any way. It's not too voluptuous. It's not too skinny. It's not too square. It's not too round. It's just in the middle of everything.
Hmm.
and they have clarity of mind and thought. They can, their purpose is not as clear as to a wood, but they can be, but their ambition is more than a wood's ambition. They have the most ambition of all of them.
Mhm. Hmm.
So they are very different. And
Hmm.
the key for metal people is to be around fire to feel better. And we froze again. The key for metal people is to be around fire to feel better.
Oh,
Or,
interesting.
well, I'm sorry, not fire, earth. The key for
Earth.
metal people is to be around earth to feel better.
Okay.
It
So
builds
is that
things up.
okay? So like for some people it's singing, for other people it's dancing, for metal people they need to be around earth.
Yeah, it's really good for them to be on earth. Counting money soothes them too. It's really interesting. I used to date this metal guy, and he used to throw money all over the bed and roll it. It was just, it wasn't for me. That's all I'm going to say. It wasn't for me. The water
Yeah.
baby was like, uh-huh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah,
Okay, so does that explain, and what metal people can tolerate it as long as it fits into their structure of their ambition.
sure, sure.
Okay, so if they think it is a helpful comment, they'll receive it as many as they need to.
Interesting. So how do you basically know what type you are by kind of your body type and your kind of your mentality and your approach to things.
Yes, yes. Now, I mean, there's books, there's so many books, so many websites devoted to this. And of course, again, yin and yang. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm yin water. So we sort of just float along. Yang water is the life of the party, as is fire. Those people know how to have a good time. And we froze again. So there's yin and yang. I'm a yin water. Yin
Mhm.
water floats, just sort of bobs around. Yang water and fire are the life of the party. Those people
Mm,
know how to have a good time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Earth is very sensual. Metal, if it serves their goal and their ambition, they're in.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
so interesting because I went to a party this last weekend that I was invited to by someone I really admire and respect, and he's a good, he has my best interest at heart. So I'll push myself, for him. Because but I could tell in my heart of hearts. Hold on, and
you
I
could tell
don't
in
want
your heart of hearts, and then you froze.
yeah, I could tell in my heart of hearts, I don't want to go to this party, and I actually don't need to go to this party because the things that I want aren't going to be there. I could just feel it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I went because I'm trying to do something. I don't know. I'm just playing with that zone of what is useful and what isn't to me, or what I think is good for me and maybe could be good for me that I just don't know about yet. So that's interesting
Yeah,
though.
we need to do a reading around this to find out exactly
Yeah.
what your soul wants at this time.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
would
we need
be,
to do.
gosh, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, I think it would. You're in a point of transition. It's important that you handle this transition in a way that serves whatever it is you choose to have served.
Right,
Um, Now I
right.
know our thing is going to end soon, and then we're going to regrow the
Yeah,
conversation in a minute.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that soon. So we'll schedule that in a sec. Uh,
Yeah. This is fun though.
so but the other thing to consider is that growth is not always comfortable, of course, right? Because the conscious mind goes, nope, we're not doing that. Nope, 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 nope. And the unconscious mind is like, wow, man, let's just do it, right? That's the ego, id, super ego, that kind of stuff. Uh, but a really nice thing, if we do a clearing on you, and I think we're going to end up doing that, is that it changes your subconscious in such a way that it takes over a little bit and operates so that the conscious mind doesn't limit it.
Love that.
Because the conscious mind doesn't know that things are different.
Right.
It like fools your brain into allowing. It's nice.
Perfect. Yeah, I need that. Just a quick trick. I love that. Well, thank you, Wendy. This was great.
Okay, baby. So we're going to hang up here and then I'm going to take the laptop upstairs and I've got to bring up a heavy screen. It's going to take a minute. Then I'm going to
Yeah.
send you another Zoom link if that works.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good. All right.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.